what Jose mentioned about the Twitch CEO and the Roblox CEO, get them young, get the 7-year-olds, the 8-year-olds, the 9-year-olds. These guys were clearly educated by Jimmy Savile, okay? Get them young, you get them for life. And that's why many companies in the zeitgeist want to target younger people. Want customers for life. There's a reason the education system targets younger people, well, namely because they are the majority of people in educational institutions, because get them young, get them indoctrinated, and get them into the institutions, right? Get them to say Black Lives Matter. Get them to say trans rights are human rights. Get them to say tip me 25% because my employer won't give me a proper wage. Give me a 30% income tax, but that's not strong enough. We need a 50% income tax because corporations are bad. That sort of thing.
There's a lot more to it too. I mean, we can go right down into the medications like Helza was talking about. It's not just trans kids that are being medicated. In this day and age, if your kid gets in a fight, the school is going to recommend that they're all put on some sort of antidepressant or anti-anxiety medication. Look, when I was growing up, if I got in a fight, I got in a fight. That was it. It was like, they would tell my parents and send me home from school and tell your kid not to do it again. All right. But we took that away. And I hate to say it like this because it sounds like violent and caveman like, but we took away society where if you say something stupid, you got popped in the mouth growing up. And you learn a little bit of respect from that. You learn a little bit of humility from that. The best friends I grew up with were people who punched me in the face and I punched them in the face because, look, we got in a fight over Street Fighter 2. Guy cheesed me with Chun-Li and and I punched him in the face. He hit me upside the head with a brick. By the way, he was exactly the ethnicity which you are all thinking, but that's besides the point.
I was red.
It goes back to the old Bill Burr joke when he was actually funny. He's like, you know what? He's like, I was out there, I got a little drunk. I was running my mouth and I got punched in the face. And then he's like, you know what? Going home, he's like the next day, he's like, you know what? Maybe I was being a little bit of a dick back there. Yeah, dude. It's like, that's why he got punched in the nose. It's like, I don't advocate for violence against anybody, but quite frankly, there are certain boundaries. But now it's like, well, you misgendered me. You insulted my. You didn't represent me. You didn't. Adhere to me. And it's like now it's the whole thing. Words are violence or silence is violence is horse shit. Violence is violence. If somebody tries to punch you in the nose, you duck and you swing and you knock them to the ground. Like, guess what? Sorry, dude, you swung first. I don't know what to tell you.
Exactly. I was raised on if someone puts their hands on you, you hit them back 3 times as hard, or you're going to get hit if you come home and let them make a fool out of you.
Yeah. I had a friend that was drunk one time. You know what? He took a swing at me. You know what I did? I put him in a headlock, threw him to the ground. I wrestled him to the ground. I was like, are you done? And we wrestled around for like 10 seconds. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm done. And I'm like, okay, you were drunk. What are we doing?
Yeah, but that's part of actually sometimes normal stuff that happen and should happen in life. Do you know, by the way, why wokeness never, those things, trans and the words hurt, never actually progressed in Eastern Europe? It's gonna sound very
busy killing each other in the 90s.
Well, that too, but also we're too poor for that. Jordan Peterson was having a tour of Eastern Europe of his not show but his lectures.
Was that before Helza? Was that before or after his overdose on prescription medicine?
I think it was actually a little bit afterwards. A little bit after, a little bit his, and then he made an interview and said, "Do you know why the notion of woke never prospered in Eastern Europe? Because I saw those people there. They've been oppressed for what they can say for 45 years, and now they're alert. They're too poor to care about that, and they're too poor to deal with something as made up as this. They have real issues. They're fighting for survival and to actually build a stable life there. They don't have time for these made up things. And I can tell you, here you do have some that are trying to do that progressive, ultra progressive idea the American way, and they're like silent voices that nobody even hears, and that's it never even took any root here. But that's because that the whole notion of that, those snowflakes, that actually that's the thing that we don't call them anymore, those snowflakes that they just crack under the slightest pressure of their bubble. They cannot comprehend reality, and they have never been in a situation where actually everything that they do needs to be part of their survival. They need to actually own up to their actions and words. They have always been so catered to, and that's infuriating because these are weak people. When you think about it, they will not survive a real situation.
But come on, Helzo. People say in your country, Bulgaria, have real problems. I mean, in Bulgaria, you can't even get clean water. I mean, the water is like brown out of the taps, right?
Yep.
Unlike, say, for example, in America, places like Flint, Michigan have the cleanest water
we have
world,
places
man.
like Flint, Michigan, in the capital right now.
Folks, you can be woke if you have no real problems, and a real problem is brown water. Okay, that's why America is woke, because nowhere in America is your water brown.
It's the luxury of it.
Real problem is have a $300 pension per month as a 68-year-old grandma, while also having to pay $2 for a bread.
And that's it. These people don't have bills. They don't have responsibilities. They don't have to take care of a parent or take care of a loved one who is sick or anything like that. They have no responsibility in life. So they have the luxury of sitting around thinking that the stories in the Harry Potter book are real. Oh, excuse me, they did. And then when J.K. Rowling went against them on one topic, they started burning said books. This is how diluted with reality these people are. And frankly, it's long overdue to try to set the course correction back. Otherwise, you're going to get more people like Destiny, more people like Hassan Piker. They are trying to raise the next generation of people much like themselves. And by the way, it's because of the fact that, look, you think Destiny, theoretically would do what that guy did to Charlie Kirk himself? No. But if he can talk to someone who's not there in the head and convince them to do it, he doesn't have to feel very bad about it now, does he?
No, he won't have the moral capacity to do it.
I know how to end wokeness. Bread lines, power cuts, rationing,
brown water, trying
to
survive. Yeah. Look, what I said about my country is partly true. Like we are better than we were in the 90s, but let me tell you one thing. People here, like when I've talked with my father about that, I've talked with younger people about that, and there are people that basically are like Shunhead, that we mentioned earlier. They like some of the stuff, the more sensible old school stuff, but they don't like anything that is currently being propagated and being preached by the woke left. Nothing. I actually have a French colleague and she's very, very like left in that regard. And she was like,
French people are, if they're not far right.
She's 25 and she said, what happened to Charlie Kirk and those psychos over there that they're celebrating it? I don't like, she said, I don't like Charlie Kirk, like what his opinions, I love his opinions, but I would never be happy for something like that. Never. That is just psychotic behavior.
When Joe Biden got elected in 2020, and he got sworn in, I'm like, you guys just elected an old man who needs to be probably in a retirement home to the most stressful job on the planet by far. I'm like, that is elder abuse. And anybody who supports that, you are supporting elder abuse. I got called names by friends on Facebook that I've known for a long time. They're like, you're just mad and you're just a racist. And I'm like going, no, maybe I just don't want to see a doddering old man turn into a worse version of himself. Like maybe that because I'm like, Obama came in looking young and spry, and I voted for him the first time. First election I ever voted in. That was a mistake. And quite frankly, he left looking like an old man.
Oh, 8 years he looked like a mummy.
Biden in 4 years looked like a poltergeist by the time he left.
Yeah.
I want a dementia impatient to have access to nuclear weapons because I want to win.
We all do, yeah, absolutely.
We almost did have one because I'm sure that Kamal's got some form of early onset.
The nihilist part of me actually agrees with Digny. Like, just there's okay. I'll be honest with you. There are certain times in a week or a month when the bad news just keep happening and happening and happening, and at a certain point you're like, yeah, go for it. Just go for it. Just press all the buttons. Be the DD from Dexter's Laboratory. Press all the buttons.
I mean, I don't know if I want none of that, but I just want to say shout out to the far left weirdos who support this whole manual transmission of the kids and crap like that. Hey, you know what? Shout out to the Mr. Mustache Man and his youth that actually were in Argentina, in Brazil, in Germany, and like how many other countries around the world because he used them as cannon fodder at the end of the war. Shout out to that. And actually, quite frankly, even after the war ended, there's actually evidence that those youth in the South American countries continued on after supposedly World War II was over. How many different examples do you people, and literally, no, I don't mean you people, I mean you people who are so brainwashed need to stop and go, you know what? We're not living on the right side of history. We're actually the bad guys. You're the bad guys.
Come on, Ryan. They'll learn. They will learn. The moment they will learn is when the world dies by nuclear fire. Now, we like to keep these shows
I want to live in that one.
Well, it's their paradise. Talk about utopia. It'll be a utopia for the cockroaches. We like to keep the show at around 2 hours for Helzo's mental health because he lives in Bulgaria and he needs to sleep.
That's a lot. Like, yeah, I don't have that. I didn't have the money to buy it, so yeah.